Okay, first of all, real pleased with our team, real proud of our team to win the way we did on the road in a hostile environment. We let some things, get away as far as some opportunities, scoring opportunities early. We could have won that game by a bigger margin if we would have played a little better. They had a lot to do with it, but a lot of times the way you win, and to win like that with all the pressure on, the way our team responded like champions, that'll help us in the future. So I was real proud of our team with that, to get the victory on the road. That'll help us, moving forward. Update on John Rice. He had injury late in that game, took a pretty good hit. He's going to be out this week, and he'll be out for a few weeks. The good thing is he doesn't need surgery. He will be back. I'll keep you updated as you go, but we're going to go with Timmy McLean this week. Timmy's a guy that we think very highly of. He's had a really good fall camp. In practice on Tuesday and Wednesdays, he's got really equal reps almost to John Rice, so he's ready to go. We have a lot of confidence in him, a guy that has played and started football games, as a true freshman. So really feel good about Timmy taking over for that. Dylan Risk will be our number 2 guy. I'm really excited for him too. He had a very good fall camp too. And like I told our team, JRP is one of the better quarterbacks in all of college football. So when you lose somebody like that, everybody else just got to raise their level. And that's our challenge for that. I'm confident we'll do that. And as far as Villanova goes, they got a really coach that is a really good coach, really good coaching staff. Had great success in the past. You look at their defense right now, I think they're giving up 55 yards a game rushing. Their quarterback is throwing the ball extremely high level right now, so we'll need to play good football, but we're happy to be back home. This week is really going to be about us. There was quite a few mistakes we made from a big picture standpoint that we're focused on. We watched the film with our players last night, and there's a lot of things that we've got to improve on before we get to our conference season. So this will be a big game for that. Questions?
Coach, anytime you see a leg maybe going in a direction it doesn't, there's always the fear it's a serious season-ending type injury.
Yep.
So when the doctors about him, there is hope that he can return.
Oh yeah, we're confident he will return. Now, until we found out, it was like thinking like we just knew that he couldn't walk real good. So that was really a good positive for that, and we're confident he will return. Like I said, no surgery needed. Anytime that happens, that's really good. Now, obviously he's not going to play this week, probably be out a couple of weeks. And what I'll do, I'll just keep you updated week to week as it goes. But I'd say right now we're confident that he'll be back, and we'll see when.
I just want to clarify, is it a knee injury or?
Yeah, it's a leg. I don't want to get specific on business, but it's a leg injury. I think everybody saw that.
Coach, you also had Jordan Mass go out for early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
What's his status? How's he doing?
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He wanted to come back in. We chose to hold him out. We're confident he'll be back. In a short period of time. We'll see. As far as what that means after he practices this week. But he's really a real strong player. I think everybody knows that. But we think we'll have him back in a short period of time, possibly this week.
Coach, there was a questionable non-targeting call towards the end of the game on JRP. What did the staff do to evaluate him? Because he went back in the game right afterwards. He looked a little shook up.
Yeah, he wanted to finish the game, so that's how we did it.
Coach and Chubb's talked a lot about Timmy's improvement over the last few months. Where have you seen Timmy improve the most?
Yeah, I think, just overall understanding of the offense with the little things. Like he's performed very well in practice. And, even the game reps he got in the fourth quarter of the first game, he performed at a high level. So, and I think, he started his true freshman year at another school, and he has that experience too. So it won't be a shock to his system, and I'm confident he'll play at a high level.
You touched on it briefly, but just what does it say about the resiliency of this group to take so many punches in that Boise State games and still find a way to win?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened during that game that you go, wow, and we think we have a touchdown, and all of a sudden it's an interception, and but our players never flinched on the sideline. They kept believing, they kept picking each other up. That's a sign of a really good team, and I was real proud of our team doing that. I was real proud of our staff. it's hard to do what we did. I mean, we didn't play our best. Give them credit. They had a lot to do with why we didn't play our best. But to be able to do that and win that way when the pressure was at the highest, and you know, the defense did a great job, you know, during the game. And of course, they had the drive down there and they scored. They had all the momentum. The place was going bananas, and they're flashing lights and playing music. And our guys found a way to go down and kick the field goal last play of the game. So that's hard to do. And we worked really hard on in the game scenarios. I've been saying like a broken record, but until you actually do it against another team, that's when you say, okay, we got that. My experience is that once you have that, you don't lose it. And our guys will be very confident in the game scenarios, and I think that's very important moving forward.
I mean, there's never a good time to have a starting quarterback go out with injury, but you win the game and you can start a full week of practice knowing that team is going to be the starter this week. You got a couple more weeks until the Big 12. So is it good to have this week to kind of know where you're at to get in these important first team reps?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a conference game, so that you can look at it that way. That he can get his feet wet and be in charge of the offense, and if there is any growing pains, you know, we could have it at home, but we'll see. Like I said, JRP, it's real unfortunate. The guy played one of his better games. He's playing at such a high level, and I believe he's one of the best, you know, football players in the country, not just quarterback. So, you know, that's a loss, but the good thing is a great opportunity for Timmy. And like I said earlier, we're confident that he'll play well. He's confident he'll play well too.
You just mentioned about John Rice. Darren said last night he thought maybe that was one of his best all-around games since he's been at UCF. What did you see when you evaluated everything on film?
Yeah. I mean, I thought he played phenomenal. I mean, you know, with the game on the line, he made some of his best plays, and you know, he was very efficient, and you know, made some things when things broke down, and then made some really, really good throws.
From week 1 to week 2 is when you said good teams make the most improvements.
Yeah.
What can you say about your team's execution last week?
Yeah, I think we improved. There were some areas that we didn't improve on, but for the most we did. Our guys played hard. They played their guts out. And, you know, the great thing is we have a lot of areas to improve on still. So, yeah, we did improve from week 1 to week 2. You know, our week 1 opponent, they played pretty good, you know, week 2. So that a lot of times you don't know exactly until the season really gets going about how quality of a win a certain game was. But we got a lot of areas to improve on. Our players understand that. They're ready to do that. So, you know, I think we're in a good spot, you know, as far as that goes.
You have a really good security blanket in Colton Boomer. I think he's missed one in his entire career. He was a 63-yarder. What's it like to have him so consistent?
Yeah, you know, that 63-yarder, it wasn't even supposed to be snapped, so you can take that out. I think he's 100% since he's been in college football. He is 100%. So, you know, he's one of the better kickers in the country. I think he's one of the bigger weapons in the country. You know, he's doing a good job with his kickoffs too. So that's a huge weapon.
Gus, you know John Rice has always been a positive, upbeat type of guy, never seems to have a bad day. What's his mentality when he was told that he was going to miss maybe a few 3 or 4 weeks? What was
Well, I think more than anything, you know, he was real pleased that he's going to be back. You know, anytime you have an injury and there's no surgery, I mean, I think that's a blessing, and so he was very excited with that. And I think all of us were, and our team was too. You know, he's not just a leader, but you know, he's really probably the team leader, and he's the heartbeat. And you know, so he'll still be there when he can't play. He will be there helping lead.
We'll find out here this week. But with Timmy McClain, tell us more about him. What kind of quarterback he is? How does he differ from John Rice? When he's out
Yeah,
there?
well, he can make things he can make plays when things break down. But he's really good within the system. He throws a really good deep ball. I mean, he can push the ball down the field. The ball comes out. He has a high release for receivers to see. Like I said, he has experience. I mean, that's the thing that I'm excited about. I mean, he's been there and done that. He's felt what it feels like to be a starting quarterback. Felt like what it feels like to be on the road. And if you remember, you know, we played him right out here, and we went down to the very end. He made a lot of plays when things broke down to get him down to that very last deal. So, you know, we're in good hands with him. We recruited him for this moment. He's got a good understanding of our system and what to do, and I'm excited to watch him play.
I know Coach Williams yesterday was a little bit upset with how defense closed on that last possession, but overall, what do you see from defense? I think 6 points the
Yeah, our defensive line is playing at a high level. I mean, they're controlling the line of scrimmage. They got us on a couple runs. We had a blitz and they gapped us out and they cut it back. We didn't set the edge a couple times, but our defensive line is playing at a high level. Our defense, to hold the first opponent to 6 and 15. They're off to a really good start. There's a lot of areas that they can improve on. They know that. We will get better. But I think our defense is off to a really good start.
You made the adjustment mid-game to go with RJ and the Wildcat formation. What was that decision, and does he offer more being a high school quarterback?
Well, Jordan had the 3rd and 1. And we ran the power, and there was 2 guys, and he cut the inside shoulder, did a great job of picking up the first down. Sometimes just you go with the veteran guy. It was late in the game in the 4th quarter on the 5-yard line, and he did a good job of setting up his blocks, and Paul Rubelt did a great job of washing down Zach, cut off that backside and allowed him to go. And so, we got 2 really high-level Wildcat guys, I feel like, with him and Jordan, and I think that's really good.
Because there's a lot, some coaches like playing SCS opponents, gives them opportunity, for some of those schools to play a higher profile game. What's your thoughts about playing a school from an SCS league?
Yeah, I'm good with playing anybody, to be honest with you. It's, you get 12 games, and this is just one of the games on our schedule. We inherited it, and I'm fine with it. We need to play really, really good football. It doesn't matter who we're playing, and that's our mindset. It so happens we're playing a high-level 1AA program with a high-level coach, and obviously they're off to a really good start.
Coach, good teams face adversity during good seasons. Are there some emerging leaders that you're seeing, or maybe some guys you'd like to see maybe become a little bit more vocal with so much going on within the locker room?
No, I think our locker room is pretty good right now. I think it's real healthy right now with our leadership and the way that they're responding. They pick each other up. They're there for each other. And you find out what truly is all about with a game like we just had. Because whatever is in us is going to be coming out. And our guys handled themselves like champs. And like I said, they stuck together. And there was a lot of adversity that we had to overcome to win that game. They stuck together, they believed in each other, they picked each other up, and they found a way to win.
Yes, you talked a lot about last week about how difficult it is to go into Boise and play in that stadium. It's a completely unfamiliar stadium. You're going to be seeing a lot of unfamiliar stadiums on the road. So it's important lesson to kind of get that experience of going into a new place with so many
guys. We learned a lot. We got 5 more road games, all right, that are real similar to that, okay? And we didn't handle the noise very well. Those self-inflicted wounds, snapping the ball late, snapping it early, you can't have that. And so there's a lot of things that we looked at, you know what, before we go on the road again, we got to correct. And we better correct it now. So that's things that we're addressing right now.
Now that you were in a close game with the new running clocks on first down, the boys was able to round some clock on their drive before you got the ball back. I know Chip Kelly is a coach that's kind of spoken out against. And now that you were kind of in a tight game, what's your opinion now after going through it?
Yeah, it's like, I wish it was like it used to be. I don't know why you'd shorten the game right now. That looks like to me the commercial is still the same length. I would say the casual fan wants to see more football than less, but really, from a coach's standpoint, we got to adapt. And, my mindset, like I said last week, is, I'm worried about it, being a shorter game and all that. But once you get going, it is what it is. And you just adapt. And so to be honest with you, I thought about it before the game again. And then once the game gets going on, you just use your instincts and you coach and you adapt.
Because a lot of the players talked about kind of Colton Boomer's personality. He's talking about, how he really kind of is a big, bright personality. What do you see from him in that regard, and what kind of makes that special for a kicker?
Yeah, he's you can tell he's a real self-confident young man. He really strains himself in practice. At halftime, he's over there reading the Bible. At halftime, we're making halftime adjustments. He's a wonderful young man, and like I said, he's got something special to him. That's so hard to do. You guys have played golf before. If you ever been in a pressure moment playing golf and people are watching you and how nervous you get, think about what he's doing with 1 million people. It doesn't bother him. Matter of fact, the special ones, my experience, and I've been real blessed to coach some of the better kickers in all of college football, and he's in that mode with that ability, like when the pressure's the highest, he's at his best. That's rare, that's hard, but he's got that.
Coach, going back to fall camp, you always talked about situational football and you were repping it a little bit more. Just seeing the success you've had so far in these last 2 games, is that something you've always done, or did you put more of an emphasis on it going into this fall camp?
You know, I think we put more of an emphasis from the standpoint just knowing our schedule and looking ahead. 6 road games. We're traveling more than any team in all of college football. To win road games, especially in a Power 5 conference, you're going to have a lot of close games. And so that was really the focus. And, you know, I look back at the times that we won championships. And, you know, I think in 2010, 2013, I think there were 7 games on both seasons that went down to the last possession. So that was just part of the plan. And like I said, we're 1-0 on the road. And, you know, that's a big piece to it.
Xavier Townsend only had 2 touches in this game, but again, he had another explosive carry of 39 yards. What is his role going forward in this offense? Is he a gadget player? Week 1, he had more receptions.
I don't know. What, after 2 weeks, would you say he's a gadget player, or would you say he's a receiver? I'd say he's a receiver. I'd say he's a real receiver, and he's an impact player. So now there's no gadget to Xavier. Whoever told you that is mistaken.
With obviously a backup having to start, you have to move up everyone in the depth chart. What have you seen from Dylan Risk?
Dylan's a very talented young man. We let our quarterbacks go live all but JRP one scrimmage, and a lot of times we can learn so much about it. And he was playing every snap like it was a Super Bowl. And, you know, he's a very talented young man. In high school, he's used to winning. He can really throw it, but he can run. I mean, he's a fast young man, and he can do the things that we want our quarterback to do in our system. And that's a great thing. You know, JRP's out, and our other 2 quarterbacks, we're not going to have to change what we do. You know, they're in that mode, and I think that's real important.
Do you, with Timmy, do you change a little? You said you're not going to change anything necessarily offensively, but do you add any little wrinkles with Timmy, with maybe having a little different abilities?
Here's what you do as a coach, and I'm an old high school coach. And so when you're a high school coach, you know, you got what you got. And the good high school coaches, they take what they got and they build around their strengths. So we will have the same system, all right, no matter what our quarterback is moving forward. But Timmy, he may do some things differently than JRP did. So the things that he did, and me and Darren, we watched every clip of his scrimmages in the spring and here this morning just to get a feel again. Okay, yeah, well, he's really good at this. So you build around that. And so that's kind of the old common sense, old high school coach in me. And we'll do the same thing with each one of our quarterbacks, but it'll be within our system. It won't have to be like creating kind of almost a new offense, if that makes sense. And but he's I think he'll be really successful.
Coach, 2 weeks, you have the highest total output in yards in the country, and you have a first-year coordinator. What does that say about the testament of Coach Henshaw and the work he's put in since he got back on campus?
Yeah, he's done a great job with the relationships and a great job just leading the offense. And, you know, the thing about our offense, and we watched it last night as a group, and there's so many areas that we can improve on. And that's really what we're focused on. Now, yeah, 2 weeks stats, that's great. But, you know, our offense, I mean, they're thinking bigger and better things. We know we got to improve some things. Like I said, probably the self-inflicted wounds about the penalties and things like that, the motions. So there's some things we're going to work really hard on that I think we can improve on. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.